الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.
Time off with God, who sacrifices for the sake of Allah. Allah will reward him immensely, inshallah, in dunya and akhirah. Topic of today's bayan is the bounties of Jannah, the ni'mats of Jannah. Our speaker is Hazrat Moulana Usman Iqbal from Leeds. He's a graduate of Berry and he's doing many different khidmat of the deen of Allah in the Yorkshire area. Allah Ta'ala accept this from him, and Allah Ta'ala give him desire khair for giving up his free time to come and speak to us, inshallah. So all brothers come forward, fill in the gaps, come forward and listen with the niyat of amal, inshallah. And it will not be a very long program, it will be finished by 2 o'clock, inshallah. Come forward with it, inshallah.
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وقال تعالى ومن أراد الآخرة وسعى لها سعيها وهو مؤمن فأولئك كان سعيهم مشكورا وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا سألتم الله الجنة فاسألوه الفردوس فإنه أعلى الجنة وأوسطها صدق الله مولانا العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. After praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and salat, salam, salutations upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I'd like to begin by thanking your Imam Sahib, Moulana Naveed Sahib, and the Intizamiya and the management committee of this masjid for giving me this opportunity to convey the message of Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The topic today is Bounties of Jannah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created man above all other creatures. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of species out there that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created. Many thousands are not even known yet. Of all Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, known to us or unknown to us. We, insan, bashar, mankind, are the greatest and dearest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has created them for us, and Allah has created us for Himself. It's up to us as believers to realize and recognize our own value. If we recognize our value, we are successful. If we do not recognize our value and let ourselves be wasted, then we are unsuccessful. Hassan Basri rahmahullah used to say, Yabna Adam, innama anta ayyam, فَإِذَا ذَهَبَ يَوْمٌ ذَهَبَ بَعْدُكَ. O man, O son of Adam, you are a matter of days. How do you define man? You define him by physical appearance, and what differentiates him from all other creatures. He defined man by time. He said, oh man, your definition is you are a matter of days. Every day that passes, a part of you has been lost. So it's similar to somebody being chopped up limb by limb by limb until he is no more. This is the example of this life. No candle runs forever. A candle is lit, a time comes where that's it. You need to purchase a new candle now. So man has been made to expire. This world has been made to expire. This world has by default been made to expire and not fulfill the demands or the desires of man. This dunya that we are living in, this realm that we are living in, is not enough for us to fulfill ourselves, our ambitions. If we were to put everything on the table, with all the resources of the world, if we were to be the only one residing on planet Earth, with all the ways and the means and the asbab, whether it be minerals and elements from the earth in terms of gold and silver, whether it be technology, or whether it be power and might, even then, this would not be enough for us to fulfill our desires. Take the richest man in the world and sit back and think, are all his desires being fulfilled? Can money fulfill a person's desires? No matter how much he has, and there will always be a balance in his account that he is not using and will never use. He will die knowing that there is a balance in his account. This itself is proof, my brothers, that this world has not been created for us to fulfill our desires. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept things within limits. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the blessing of food. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the blessing of health. We breathe in oxygen. We think, we can see, we can hear. These are all necessities. These are not our desires being fulfilled. We marry, we have children, then they have children. These are all necessities being fulfilled. These are not our desires being fulfilled. When we talk about desires being fulfilled, my friends, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has outlined in the Holy Quran again and again and again, وَفِيهَا مَا تَشْتَهِيهِ الْأَنفُسُ وَتَلَذُّ الْأَعْيُنُ. Is defined Jannah. What is Jannah? In Jannah is all that which which souls yearn for, that the souls and the desires are dying for, they are craving for. In Jannah is all those, and for those desires to be fulfilled with a limitless life that is in Jannah. And in Jannah is وَتَلَذُّ الْأَعْيُنِ, the coolness of the eyes. Think what gives coolness to the eyes in this world, or what we think gives coolness to the eyes in this world. For a child, it'll be the Ferrari, he'll see one, he's never content, he'll see another one. The second one looks better than the first one. Then when he drives past, oh, he'll agree for, I need that. It's not coming to him. He'll want a toy in that minute. For the adults, it'll be other things. But the desire is never fulfilled. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said, لَوْ كَانَ لِبْنِ آدَمَ وَادِيَانِ مِنْ ذَهَبٍ لَبْتَغَى ثَالِثًا. If the son of Adam, a man, was to own 2 whole valleys of gold, now he knows in his lifetime he will not live to see these 2 valleys of gold being used and enjoyed by him. But Rasulullah SAW has explained the nature of man. By default, man is what? لَبْتَغَى ثَالِثًا. He will still seek a 3rd valley of gold. This is how we are. إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ خُلِقَ هَلُوعًا ظَلُومًا جَهُولًا. Again and again, Allah explains the nature of man, how we've been created. But the successful one is the one who suppresses, who understands it and realizes his purpose. He is focused, he is consistent, and he has total conviction on the promises of Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In this life, we have 2 extremes. We have happiness and sadness, times of distress and grief. There is no human being, the poorest of the poor or the richest of the rich, who does not face stress or grief at some point in his life, whether it be when he falls ill. Richness cannot save a person from illness, whether it be losing somebody. There are distresses and tensions in this life. Had there been a tension-free life, then Allah would have reserved this for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But this life has not been made to be tension-free or distress-free. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made this life as a test. And tests are always full of stress. Or whether it be the poorest of the poor. Actually, the poor are happier than the rich. You go back home, go to Pakistan, go to Bangladesh, and you will see the basic, the poor fruit seller always smile on his face. Alhamdulillah. No stress. Because he's got no burden on his head, which is richness. Richness, affluence, wealth itself is a burden. Itself causes stress. So there are 2 extremes in this world. And Jannah is free from both of them. You may be thinking, well, Jannah is full of happiness. يَنْعَمُ وَلَا يَبْخُسُ أَبَدًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, in Jannah there is total pleasure, comfort, luxury. There is not a single aspect, not even a moment of stress, tension, displeasure, unhappiness, sadness, nothing of the sort. So why have I said in Jannah there is nothing of the 2? There is happiness, but the happiness in this world is also painful. One king, he asked one of his ministers, he said, write something for me, but one statement Tandus, like a double-edged sword. You use it for two purposes. So when I'm sad and I look at this, my sadness is relieved. I don't fall into depression. It controls my sadness. It gives me hope. And when I'm happy, then it doesn't let me become over happy or fall into a state of ecstasy. It keeps me balanced. It keeps my emotional balance. So this minister thought and thought and thought, and he wrote a statement on the wall. So every time you're happy, see this. And every time you're sad, see this. And his statement was, ये वक़्त भी गुज़र जाएगा. Very simple. This time will pass. So the happinesses of this world, my friends, they also cause grief because they pass. No happiness lasts forever. For the children, happiness is start of the school holidays. They pass. They end. Whether it be a wedding, everything seems fine until you actually start living your life. Alhamdulillah, Allah give happiness to all the married couples. But Eid, the world has been made for good times to pass, for bad times to also pass. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has only reserved for the believers one place where there will be no passing of good times. There will always be only be an increase. It will not even be stagnant or stale. There will only be an increase. إن أهل الجنة يزدادون جمالا وحسنا كما يزدادون في الدنيا قباحة وهرما أو كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. الله أكبر. Indeed, the people of Jannah will increase in beauty and goodness, just like the people of this world gradually become in every way and form unpleasant and old. Shabab and youthhood turns into old age. Haram. But the people of Jannah will only increase in beauty. And everything they wish, down to their appearances, my friends, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them. There will be Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala says to his student, may Allah gather me and you in Suqul Jannah. Oh Ustadji, what is Suqul Jannah? Suq means a marketplace. What is the marketplace of Jannah? The student wanted more details. He wanted a description. Said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will let the people gather. And in this suq, they can choose their appearance. Allahu Akbar. And in this suq, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send down a rain which will cause them to become even more fragrant. And when they return home, their wives will say, you were beautiful, you were fragrant. Before you left, you increased. Where does this come from? And they refer to Suqul Jannah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept, in terms of foods, the descriptions, Quran and Sunnah. A person will not have to move, reclining on his cushion, on his bed, on his seat. He will not have to move, simply desire, and it will be with him. What he desires will be with him. And there will be no pain of digestion and no pain of relieving oneself. It will be nothing but enjoyment. In terms of the strength of the people of Jannah, this and the nutrition of the people of Jannah will be received before even entering Jannah by the hands of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam at the pool of Kawthar. This whole thing of eternal thirst being quenched, eternal quench, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam's blessed hand will have this barakah and have this blessing in it, that this water of Kawthar, man shariba minhu lam yadma abada. Whoever drinks from it, he will never ever feel thirsty. So why will he drink in paradise? He is not drinking for thirst, he is drinking for enjoyment and luxury. Whoever makes wudu from it, lam yash'af abada. He will never look disheveled. He will never be, untidy. His tidiness will increase. His beauty will only increase. So my friends, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has that in store for us which our imaginations can think and think and think. Two things are not perceivable. One is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah cannot be perceived. Allah's Zat, His being, it cannot be imagined. We cannot comprehend the being and the Zat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Tahawi rahimahullah says, لا تبلغه الأوهام ولا تدركه الأفهام. Imaginations, thoughts cannot reach the reality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has described Himself in the Holy Quran. وَالْأَوَّلُ وَالْآخِرُ وَالظَّاهِرُ وَالْبَاطِنُ. He is the first, He is the last. He is the most apparent and He is the hidden. Apparent in terms of His power and jalal and ilm and the manifestation of His sifat and His attributes. And hidden in terms of His zat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been described in Quran and Sunnah by the beautiful names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the second thing which cannot be comprehended by the human mind is also Jannah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, "Inna fil jannati ma la aynun ra'at, wa la udhunun sami'at, wa la khatara ala qalbi basharin," aw kama qala an-nabiy sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Indeed, in Jannah there is that which no eye has ever seen. So you travel the world and you see all the wonders of the world, from the beautiful gardens to Niagara Falls, to the valleys of the world, to the mountains of the world, to whatever you can get to. Just think, Jannah is nothing like that. And the ulama have mentioned that even the names of the things in Jannah, for example, the fruits, pomegranate, these are just names for us to understand. It's not going to be, don't do reasoning that, oh, pomegranate will pomegranate. No. Nothing in Jannah is like anything here. These are names for us to understand that they have names there. The pomegranate of Jannah is totally something else. Ma la aynun ra'at wa la udhunun sami'at. No ear has ever heard the voices in Jannah. So whether you start on a beautiful summer morning and you hear the tasbihat of the birds in this world, or you hear the most beautiful recitation of the Holy Quran, or you hear the most general, beautiful voice, just think, in Jannah, I am going to hear from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I am going to hear the recitation of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. No ear has ever heard. وَلَا خَطَرَ عَلَى قَلْبِ بَشَرٍ. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did not end there, because if no eye has seen, no ear has heard, you can dream. There's always the option of dreaming, my friends. Rasulullah made clear, no heart and mind has ever imagined, conceived, thought, dreamt of what is in Jannah. It is beyond dreams. Allahu Akbar. The houses of Jannah. I was just reading today, 1 farsakh long. Farsakh is 3 miles. And here, a little plot, barely to put our wheelie rubbish bin. 3 miles, one side. The cement joining the bricks of Jannah. Milaquha al-miskul adfaru. Allahu Akbar. It is the most fragrant musk. Labinatun min dhahabin, labinatun min fiddatin, bricks of silver, bricks of real gold, and much more. فَلَا تَعْلَمُ نَفْسٌ مَا أُخْفِيَ لَهُمْ مِنْ قُرَّةِ أَعْيُنٍ. No soul knows the coolness of the eyes that has been kept concealed from him. And this is the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the method of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we do this in this world. Let's keep it as a surprise. So my friends, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us for a very limited time. And let me tell you, from all the bounties of Jannah, what is the best? Allahu Akbar. What is the best of the bounties of Jannah? Is it the Jannatin tajri min tahtiha al-anhar, the rivers, the gardens beneath which rivers flow? And what anhar, what rivers? فيها أنهار من ماء غير آسن وأنهار من لبن لم يتغير طعمه وأنهار من خمر لذة للشاربين وأنهار من عسل مصفى ولهم فيها من كل الثمرات ومغفرة من ربهم. الله أكبر. In Jannah is rivers of ma min غير آسن. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says rivers of water that never goes bad. There is no change in the color of this water. It is always as bright and sparkly as silver. من لبن يتغير طعمه. By milk, it's got a date on there. You keep it in the fridge if you want. It will go bad one day. The rivers of the milk of Jannah is لم يتغير طعمه. The taste does not change. And the descriptions mentioned, Anhar Muttarida. They are constantly flowing, they are not stagnant. Continuous flow of the water and of the milk in the rivers of Jannah. Third river of Jannah. Khamri ladhatin lisharibin. Wine which will be very, very extremely tasty for those who drink it. لا يصدعون عنها ولا ينزفون. It will not cause you a headache, nor will it cause any intoxication. And the fourth river of Jannah, water, milk, wine, asal musaffa. Allah. Pure honey flowing. Imagine honey flowing. Not asal musaffa, the purest of honey flowing. And a continuous flow. So the houses of Jannah, the women of Jannah, the men of Jannah, the khuddam. One hadith mentions approximately 25,000 just servants. And the servants will be like hotels. Allahu Akbar. The canopies, the pavilions of Jannah. Allah. You know, when a person reads the descriptions in Quran and Hadith, a person just feels like reading the kalima and, oh Allah, take me. Kalima and take me. Because a person draws a comparison. There is nothing here. This is why Sayyiduna Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, ارتحلت الدنيا مدبرة وارتحلت الآخرة مقبلة ولكل واحدة منهما بنون فكونوا من أبناء الآخرة ولا تكونوا من أبناء الدنيا فإن اليوم عمل ولا حساب وغدا حساب ولا عمل. Allah used to say, we are moving away from the dunya. We have turned our backs to the dunya. We've started our journey. We are not here. We are moving away. We've drove off. And we are now facing the akhirah. And remember, oh people, he used to say, the dunya has its men and the akhirah has its men. Oh people, be men of the akhirah. Do not be men of the dunya. Because today, while you are here, there is action and no accountability. Tomorrow there will be only accountability, no action. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَوْمَ يُكْشَفُ عَنْ سَاقٍ وَيُدْعَوْنَ إِلَى السُّجُودِ فَلَا يَسْتَطِيعُونَ. Make as much as sajdas as you can, because on that day, when the majesty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come into play, and they'll be called to sajda. Make sajda, O people. لَا يَسْتَطِيعُونَ خَاشِعَةً أَبْصَارُهُمْ تَرْهَقُهُمْ ذِلَّةٌ. They won't have the ability. We will not be allowed to make sajda. Yes, the pious people who worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in their graves and the akhirah and the hashar, it will be ibadat for taladdud. It will be ibadat not for taklif, not because we are being made responsible. Act, do good deeds. It will be because a person has done so many good deeds in his life. He seeks contentment and tranquility and sukoon and peace through this, where he will just continue doing this for the same purpose. And this is what the people of Jannah will do. Jannah will also have dhikrullah, but you will not need to move your tongue. Allahu Akbar. Yulhamuna التسبيح والتحميد والتهليل كما تلهمون النفس. They will make dhikr like you breathe, O people of the dunya. Do you need to think and breathe? Do you voluntarily need to think? No. Your involuntary muscles are working in your body. Your lungs are working without you thinking. This is how the dhikr of the people of Jannah. But if a person's whole life is spent on talking nothing but useless, unconcerning, unwarranted, unnecessary talk, then is this person going to make dhikr there? When it was fard on him, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu dhkurullaha dhikran kathira, O believers, make a lot of dhikr. You see, every worship in Islam has limits. Zakat has a limit. Even zakat and sadaqah and charity has a limit. It's haram for you to donate everything you own because your family has a right upon you. You can donate a lot, alhamdulillah. But you have rights. Your own inna li jasadika alayka haqqa. Your own body has a right upon you. What are you going to eat? Where are you going to live? Salat has limits. Make as much as salah as you can. But the 3 times, sunrise, when it's at its peak, climax, zenith, midday, and the time when the sun is setting, haram to read prayers. To some extent, fasting as well. In the day, haram to fast. The 5 days in the year is not permissible to fast. Hajj, 1 day in a year, you can't make Hajj every day, can you? And then other huquq and other rights stop you from making Hajj. If you you have ill parents and there is no one to care for them. There are restrictions on every, but there is no restriction in the Holy Quran and the Sunnah on dhikrullah. Dhikrullah, making remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will see the word, wherever dhikr comes, you will see kathira with it, in abundance. There is no limit. Don't do 10 and stop, 20 and stop, 30 and stop. Have no limit. Do unlimited dhikrullah. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. This is why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would make istighfar and ask Allah for forgiveness after coming out from the toilet. Why? Sayyida Aisha Siddiqa, and this is some of the commentary of the hadith mentioned, Sayyida Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha mentions, كَانَ يَذْكُرُ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ أَحْيَانِ Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would make dhikr all the time. There was not a time he is not engaged in worshipping and remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But when he came 5 times to the toilet, you can't make dhikrullah there. Bismillah, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubuthi wal khaba'ith. We go in, we read ourselves. On the way out, ghufranak. Alhamdulillah, alladhi adhaba anni al-adhab. Oh Allah, forgive me. Why? It's because that time was spent without the tongue being allowed to make dhikr. So this is the level of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is how we achieve paradise. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَنْ أَرَادَ الْآخِرَةِ The verse I recited in the khutbah. Whoever aims for akhirah, whoever's irada, his target, his focus, his goal is akhirah. Allah then put 2 conditions on. And then said, his goal will be achieved. Sa'yuhum mashkura. I'm going to be grateful and I will fulfill the rights of being grateful. When you are grateful to someone, what do? You open up your mercy to them. You shower them with whatever you have. Brother, I'm very grateful. Brother, you help me at the time of need. Ask me whatever you have, whatever you need. If I have, I will give you. When Allah says, I am going to be grateful, I will be grateful for those whose goal is Jannah, but 2 conditions. Number 1, وَسَعَى لَهَا سَعْيَهَا. Whoever's goal is Jannah, provided he puts the required effort in for Jannah. Number 2, وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ, and his iman is intact. He is a believer. Then he's put the effort in. If there are some shortcomings, Allah will forgive. And the iman is there. سَعْيُهُمْ مَشْكُورًا. They will achieve their desired result. وَسَعَالَهَا سَعْيَهَا. In this comes all the pillars of Islam. Comes remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Comes tawbah. Comes repentance. Comes istighfar. Comes huquq al-ibad, treating our parents correctly, family, wife, children, and fulfilling the rights of those who are with us. And in this also comes our financial, monetary dealings, and the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Putting the effort in. But on the condition, second condition, وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ, have to be a believer. There is no salvation in akhirah for the non-believer. So a person's iman, if it has an issue with it, and one of the necessary articles of iman is missing, then no matter what the effort in terms of deeds is, no paradise, no gratitude from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And remember, my friends, we are living in a time where iman is being attacked from our rights, from our left, from in front, from behind, and from on top, and from underneath. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to make dua every day. Allahumma inni as'aluka al-afiyah fi dunya wal akhirah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, khayru ma sa'altum al-afiyah. The best thing you can ask for in your du'as, we ask for everything. Oh Allah, forgive me. Oh Allah, give me health. Oh Allah, relieve my problems. The best thing, the one word, the golden word, the $1 million word, which without you even having to specifically mention it is afiyah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the best thing you can ask for is afiyah. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you analyze his du'as on a daily basis, afiyat he would ask for in the morning, afiyat he would ask for in the evening. Allahumma inni as'aluka al-afiyata fi dunya wal akhirah, or Allah, I ask you for afiyah. What is afiyah? Afiyah is for everything to be right with no problem. That includes your health. And he will specifically mention, Allahumma afini fi badani, fi sam'i, fi basari. Oh Allah, give me afiyah in my body. That means good health. And not just good health, but using the body for the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then Rasulullah would go on. And he would ask, Allahumma astur awrati wa min rawati, Allahumma ahfazni, O Allah, protect me min bayni yadayya, wa min khalfi, wa an yamini, wa an shimali, wa min fawqi, wa a'udhu bi'azamatika an ughtala min tahti. O Allah, I ask you to protect me from my right. O Allah, protect me from my left. O Allah, protect me in front of me, protect me behind me. O Allah, protect me from above. And O Allah, protect me from being surprise attacked from underneath me. Is there anyone more protected than Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Why is he making this dua? To teach us, worry about your iman. My young friends, in school, in college, at work, you will find detrimental things that are attacking your iman without you even realizing. Stick to the environment of the masjid. Stick to your daily dhikrullah. Stick to your du'as to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask Allah for afiyah, because the iman is the ticket for paradise. Actions increase the sa'yuhum mashkura, Allah's shukr to us. But if iman is at risk, then we must have some sort of reinforcement. You know, when our house is at risk of, we look, security, okay, possible entrance, so they don't come from here, they can come from the back. We need some extra alarm system. We need some metal grill here. We need some gates. But what is the dhikr for my iman? What concern I have for dying upon iman? And shaitan attacks like never before at the time of our death. His aim is to snatch our iman. Lifelong effort of shaitan in comparison with the few minutes and seconds at the time of our death. His effort upon us to take our iman at the time of death is more than our whole life effort that he's put upon us. So we must always be worried about this. رَبَّنَا لَا تُزِغْ قُلُوبَنَا. Al-Mufti Shaykh al-Islam Fiqh Usmani Hafidhullah says that if a person sincerely asks for guidance and for his iman to remain preserved, then there is no way Allah will let his iman be wasted. Why? Because then he can present this as an excuse in the day of judgment. Oh Allah, I asked you for help, you did not help me. This is one dua. رَبَّنَا لَا تُزِغْ قُلُوبَنَا بَعْدَ إِذْ هَدَيْتَنَا وَهَبْ لَنَا مِن لَدُنْكَ رَحْمَةً. And du'as like Allahumma inni as'aluka husn al-khatimah. When something you can make a poster of this and put it up. Oh Allah, I ask you for husn al-khatimah, for a good ending. Good ending is dying with iman. Because this is the crux of everything. This is the most crucial time a human being has and will ever face. After this, the illusion starts. The show starts after this. For bad, very dangerous. Nothing but misery. And for the good, alhamdulillah. 158. So just last few advices. One Sahabi, Rasulullah made some khidmah for Rasulullah. Rasulullah became very pleased with him and said, ask me for anything. Ask. I will give you whatever I have the power to do. Just ask. Allah is going to give you. So he said, Ya Rasulullah, ask which cannot be compared to anything I've mentioned. It's too high, it's too lofty. These rivers cannot be compared with what I'm going to tell you. These bricks, the smell, and these foods, and this eternal life, with the fact that Rasulullah ﷺ will be in Jannah is the greatest blessing Jannah has. Rasulullah ﷺ will bless Jannah, not Jannah blessing Rasulullah ﷺ. Rasulullah ﷺ does not take virtue from anything else. He gives the virtue wherever he is. His era is the best of eras. He does not take virtue from the era. The era took virtue. I hosted Rasulullah ﷺ from this year to this year in my zamana, my time. The place where Rasulullah ﷺ rests right now. Moulana Usman Iqbal says in some couplets in Ma'arif al-Sunan, لَقَدْ فَاقَ عَرْشًا وَالسَّمَاوَاتِ الْعُلَىٰ أَرْضٌ حَوَجَّسَ النَّبِيِّ مَكْتَارًا. Allahu Akbar. He says, the land which is holding Rasulullah ﷺ right now is greater than Jannah. Jannatul Ma'wa, Jannatul Firdaus, Jannatul Adn is greater than the Arsh of Allah, the Kursi of Allah is greater than the Kaaba of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? He is holding it. And this is the Aqidah of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam being in paradise is the greatest ni'mat we have of paradise. And then the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala وَرِضْوَانٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ, there is nothing greater than the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see, because we're so materialistic, we always look at things. Because the nafsu ka-tifl, the nafs is like a small child, we always look at things. You know, I want a house, a car, I want conveyance, I want this, I want food. But the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then seeing the blessed countenance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the hijabs and the veils of nur that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us the ability to see on the day of judgment, in akhirah. How will we see? Allah knows best. But Allah says, Rasulullah has said, Allahu Akbar. And what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? لِلَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا الْحُسْنَى وَزِيَادَةً. For those who have done good is paradise and ziyada and more. The Mufassirun explain ziyada is an-nazaru ila wajhihi al-kareem. So Allah's pleasure and the fact that Sahabi, he said, Rasulullah said, ask, Allah will give you. I will make dua for you, but you're going to get. And what Rasulullah says doesn't go wrong because it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hadith is in Mishkat al-Masabih. Sahabi did not ask for Allah, give me, or Messenger of Allah, ask Allah to give me a big palace in paradise. Reserve a place in paradise. As'aluka murafaqataka fil Jannah. I ask to be your companion in Jannah, to be your rafiq in Jannah. Rasulullah did not say, you got it. This, my friends, is a scary bit. He's got paradise, but the Prophet said, help me to help you. فَأَعِنِّي عَلَى نَفْسِكَ بِكَثْرَةِ السُّجُودِ. Help me to help you. Inshallah, you get your paradise. But help me to help you. Don't stop there, you can't sit back. بِكَثْرَةِ السُّجُودِ. Make lots of sajda. Salah. Make lots of nothing. Make lots of sajda. Even for Sahaba, there was not this thing where you can sit back, guaranteed. Sahabas guaranteed paradise. But they had to keep working. Are we guaranteed paradise? And we've stopped working. Allah. So this, my friends,
in Jannah is